Hi, this is RSOPerator from RadicalSurvivalism.com, and today I want to share with you a story. So this event happened several years ago. My wife and I used to go out to the gun shows a lot and promote radical survivalism, and also some work she was doing with a company who makes freeze-dried and dehydrated food for purposes of long-term food storage. We used to split a table and go out and promote these two things, RS and the food, and in doing that, we met this really cool couple who used to sit up near us, and they did some preparedness type stuff too. And in getting to know each other, we learned that Ron, the one of the couple, had been an Army Ranger and was involved in some of the combat that occurred in 1993 in Somalia during the Black Hawk Down incident. He talked a little bit about that, not a lot about it, but that he was indeed involved in that. At any rate, he was overall he was really a wealth of information in terms of bouncing questions off of him that I've always wondered about preparedness and about tactics and how they how that sort of works with an SHTF situation and the preparedness thing. So we got along really well, and we oftentimes would kind of migrate to each one table or the other and kind of just listen and engage people and stuff, and we always had a lot of fun doing it. And I remember one time, one show in particular, we had a gentleman walk up to our table, and Ron was listening from his vantage point near us at his table. This gentleman walks up, and my wife does what she normally does, and that is she engages people who walk by and tries to pull them in and talk about preparedness a little bit and see where they are. And she asks the question that she typically asks, and that is, in an SHTF situation, what are you going to do? What's your plan? And really quickly, he came back and said, no hesitation at all, he said, I'm just going to go to people's houses and go in and take what I want. And he said it with such conviction and said it so quickly and replied to her so quickly that we were a little bit taken back, a little bit surprised, because I think that was probably the first time she or I had, a first time of several times she and I had actually heard that response. And so we kind of paused for a second and contemplated, what he was telling us. Essentially, he was saying, well, I'm just going to hurt people and take what they have. And he was, in terms of the moral, based on his body language, the moral implications of that really were secondary to him, even if they were being evaluated in his plan at all. At any rate, during that pause, I turned and caught Ron's eyes, and to see how, because I figured he'd heard that. I knew he was standing close enough to me that he probably heard what this guy was telling us, and I was curious to see how he would react to it. So I turned and kind of caught his eyes, and he kind of gave me he shifted his eyes to me really quick and kind of gave me this sort of a blank look, but I know exactly what he was thinking. I mean, without a doubt, he was thinking, yeah, I'd like to see you try that here. And which immediately this became a teaching / learning moment for me in terms of preparedness, and that is folks who are walking around with this idea that they're going to actually get away with just not doing a whole lot of anything until something really bad, if something really bad occurs, an SHTF style situation in our country. And have the plan in play where, well, I'm just going to wait, and then when this occurs, I'm just going to start stealing, whether it be at gunpoint or not. This was a learning moment that demonstrates just how awful, how piss poor that strategy is, because in walking up to our table and engaging this guy, he, within a matter of seconds, admitted to us a plan that it wasn't going to fly at Ron's house. I mean, can you imagine a gentleman who I'm going to assume, based on this guy's body language and the way this guy was interacting with us, that he probably didn't have military training. I'm not 100% dead on when I sort of size up someone, but I'm pretty good at it, and my wife is exceptional at it. And we weren't reading ex-military from this guy. We were reading something else. So let's take a closer look at this so-called strategy. This is going to involve either tiptoeing or going guns blazing onto somebody's property, getting yourself somehow into their home, and finding their stuff, getting their stuff, assembling it and getting it out, all without running into any resistance, without getting yourself killed or injured in the process. Wow. So I wonder, what is it that makes someone so delusional that they think that they can repeat this over and over? To think that this was the plan, and that so quickly he walked up to a group of people standing behind tables where one of them had more than enough training to stop him in his tracks should he try it. That told me very quickly, and I'm trying to relay this in this video, that the plan of wait, see what happens, and then take from other people, it will work as long as you are better trained, well armed, and can get away with going at families, going at people, and taking what you feel you want to take. But the minute you run into somebody who's better trained, more skilled, more experienced at combat than you are, your plan is done. Well, that's all for this video. If you want to see more, check us out at radicalsurvivalism.com. If you want to follow me at Twitter, you can do that at twitter.com/radsurvival. And don't forget to check us out, search us on Facebook. We'll see you next time. So I guess the moral of the story here is, what is the moral of the story? It's a really stupid thing to do.